cool. Let's shift that. Comments are up. Okay. I'm gonna share this to a few streams and then we will be ready to proceed. Alchemy is looking a bit interesting, at least as far as the additions go. Now, as far as draft is concerned, it usually adds a little, but not so much because you're only getting like one alchemy card per pack. Though I don't know how much the play boosters affect this, but I think we are still getting the equivalent of we're just still getting an additional alchemy card. It does mean that there is the likelihood of a triple rare pack, which is gonna be quite something. But for the most part, given the nature of the rares in the game, we're just gonna have to be looking out for the really good ones. It's probably gonna be a bit bombier, that's for sure. Anyway, this is the last share, and we will be ready to go. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we're going to be doing Premier Draft of Murders at Karlov Manor Alchemy Edition. So, lots of things that were added. Now that I think of it, we barely see blue-black, though it's kind of in the bottom, but not extremely the worst. We're going to see how a lot of the additions are quite interesting in that there is this emphasis on multicolored cards. That's one addition that they've added there. They've even added ways to make cards multicolored with an additional cost. And actually, the way it's implemented is kind of interesting, because normally an additional cost should not affect your. Because the way it's implemented here, that additional cost affects your mana. I actually don't remember if it affected mana value. I don't think it does, but it did affect your. It did affect the color of the spell because of the way perpetual works. It's a very interesting take, because normally an additional cost does not contribute to the color of a card. Like for example, if I were to pay kicker, it does not that's a multicolored kicker, it does not all of a sudden make the card multicolored. But I guess it's a way to make it work in Arena. It's an interesting change. But that said, the fixing is still on. But the fixing is still kind of subpar. It's the fixing is something that you have to work for. It's not gonna come free. Likewise, waiting for this one person to say ready. Okay, there we go. Just needed to complain a little bit. And right off the bat, Undergrowth Recon. Okay, it's a mythic, but it's really not playable. Our Alchemy card is Case of the Market melee. When this case enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Damage isn't removed from creatures during cleanup steps, so it does guarantee things get removed at the end. That said, red also, there's a shock there, concealed weapon. We can probably start making our claim in white by taking best card Novice Inspector. I think I will stake my claim on Novice Inspector first. Then we'll see how the rest of it pans out. So it's a bit of a gamble. Okay. White black would be interesting. Cackling Observer this one is basically evil elite spellbinder. I definitely would take this one. There is no good red card, though there is Blood Spatter Analysis as an alternative, but I think I will take Cackling Observer for this one. And let's see, Defenestrate, Phantom's okay but expensive. Probably just taking Unscrupulous Agent. Cease and Desist is probably not great. Persuasive Interrogators is also kind of expensive for what it is. It's something you want to wheel into, but it's not something you want to take first off. And let's see. Rakish Scoundrel. Museum Nightwatch is fine. Insidious Roots is interesting, but it's not easy to make work in. It's more constructed rather than more of a constructed card. I guess I could just take removal. Slice from the Shadows is pretty good. Rather, it's pretty okay, but I do have to kind of take it. And another unscrupulous agent. I probably should at least take murder here. There's a case of the Gorgon's Kiss, but this one is a bit very hard. This one is not easy to do. It takes a lot of combat, so we'll probably just take the murder. So we're definitely in black. The white is a bit of a question mark now. Under City Eliminators, this is our third unscrupulous agent we're passing. I will take the Undercity Eliminator here. And let's see. It's not even the wheel pack yet, so Polygraph Orb. I've had this work against me, but honestly, this is not supposed to be a great card. I guess I could just take Make Your Move. I could also just take Granite Witness. It's something that we could flip up if we are going into white. Probably still better than make. Yeah, I think I'll try this one. Not so sure if we actually get in there. Okay, now this one really dried up. I guess I could take Jetsam. We could also speculate on saying Exit Specialist. We could actually go into blue instead of white here. I might rather just take the Projector Inspector, but yeah, take the Exit Specialist. Maybe white is definitely not open at this point. This leads us into blue-black, but we might end up just taking blue-black good stuff rather than going for the actual archetype. So we are kind of looking at like say flyer, ways to generate card advantage. There we go. We have sort of a game plan, but I'm not so sure how it's going to line up for us. Let's just see how it goes. Also of note, like 2-drop. This one's kind of a 3-drop with Disguise. So our 2s and 3s are kind of pretty much solved. We have an Undercity Eliminator, so late. Sudden Setback. Okay, not exactly the best one. Yeah, white is definitely not so open. Would I could take Dramatic Accusation as removal, but this is not really the best one. I might just take the Alley Assailant instead. Get another creature. Okay, this one completely dried up. Oh, there is a Nod to the Bone as a... Oh, did I not have a copy of this? We'll take the Rope first. I can always just craft that one easily. And this one's a bit of a dry up. I guess the Crocodile is blue, so we could take that one. Rakish Scoundrel is black. Would I rather have that or Basilica Stalker? This one's kind of expensive. This one's a bit cheaper. I think I'll take the Stalker instead, but I'm not too keen on either. Agency Coroner is kind of interesting, but... And let's see, on the return... Yep, this is our triple rare pack. And we actually have something interesting here. Taut String Analyst. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of target opponent's library face down. So it basically... I will take this because it's very interesting. And even when this dies, and I kind of might want to sacrifice it eventually, we still get to cast the cards from exile. We exile off our opponent. So definitely taking this. It's a shame we're passing Extract the Confession, which is really good removal. But I might as well start taking some rares here. Well, not this rare. That one's a bit too much. Fester Leech is fine. It does, but we're not exactly a collect evidence deck though, so maybe we're not the best one for this. Forensic Researcher does give us something to do with collect evidence. Also kind of like a mana ramp card, a bit admittedly very expensive. Alternately, I could just take the Gadget Technician. Yeah, if I were to flip up any of these, I'll take the Gadget Technician. Okay, another Murders. Not like I'm saying it lightly. We are mostly main black, so I will definitely take this one. Get it out of the way. We are passing quite a few blue cards now, so that is a concern. Now that I think of it, our disguised creatures are all basically double blue. Okay, we have an Ali Assailant. That's not double blue. Meticulous Archive, we definitely can take that one. It's probably a lot better than any of the other cards we have as an option. Yeah, Hustle's not. Bubble Smuggler is fine, but yeah, we'll take the Meticulous Archive. If any, we should be on the lookout for any. If we can take a card that allows us to get the kind of free splash, we should go for it. And that is one of those cards. Fairy Snoop is fine. If you control 3 or more artifacts. So let's see. Captain is your Granite Witness is an artifact. This one makes an artifact. I could try this one. Honestly, I could also just take like Crime Stopper, Sprite, or Bubble Smuggler. Fairy Snoop is... it's okay, but it's not so great. I think I'll take the Bubble Smuggler. It's on the cheaper. It's something cheap that we can cast cheap. We can cast a sword as a disguised creature, and we can buff it up as something big. That said, I will take the second Unscrupulous Agent over the next Bubble Smuggler. We kind of want to have things to sack to our Undercity Eliminator. Macabre Reconstruction. I guess one is fine. Alternately, I could take a Sanguine Savior. This one is... I probably will take this one because this is something we could flip up in black. Oh, Gadget Technician or Gadget Technician? I'd say Ali Assailant actually. We're aiming for main red, main black, and we're kind of doing a good job at that. Yeah, another Sanguine Savior helps us here. So that means we can cut the Crocodile. We can probably cut the Granite Witness, I think. The Technician, I'm not that sure. Though I will admit, we probably have way too many disguised creatures that it's not so great for us. I think we do take one to do still. Fester Leech. Not sure if we're gonna actually play it. We did get the Fairy Snoop back, so maybe that's an argument for just keeping it streamlined. Oh, definitely taking Prof's Eidetic Memory. It's a shame we're passing Hide in Plain Sight. We're also passing like a Lurking Spinecrawler. This is one of the cards that if it adds... So I think that perpetually incorporates black is what changes the spell's characteristics. That said, I think I do take Eidetic Memory first. Now all of a sudden we're getting more... Well, it's more into blue, but not by much. Jaded Analyst, whenever you draw your second card. None of these are great for us. I think I'll just take the rare. Well, speaking of rares, there's another one that we could take, but I think we have better options here. Mapping the Maze, adding a blue so that we can draw a card and we can return a multicolored. Multicolored. We don't actually have any multicolored instants or sorceries, so that said, what you can do is after you cast a murder, you can cast this to incorporate a spell and return it back. So it's a way to buy back our murder. It's either that or Mistway Spy. I think I'll take the Mapping the Maze. Just try it out. Another Bubble Smuggler. Yeah, we're kind of missing out on a lot of the good stuff. We can still theoretically run a 10-7. I would love to take the Slush Portico, but there is an unauthorized exit. There is a Slice from the Shadows. I definitely want to take both of these first. Now we're on the lookout for cards that we really want. So let's say I really want to take this one. It saves me another rare. Burden of Proof. How many detectives? 6? Probably not enough. We could use this as removal, so to speak. So I guess we can use this one. It kind of works. We're cutting the Gadget Technician now. We'll take the Barbed Servitor, though not so sure how much I really want to run that. Cold Case Cracker. I guess that's fine. Not so sure if we're actually gonna run it because we have a very interesting curve now. Like our curve is actually a lot deeper on the tree drops, and that's kind of fine. Case of the Filched Falcon. I don't think we have enough artifacts. Probably not. If I add all these cards here, I have a way to splash for this, but let's just take a crime. Yeah, we'll just take a Crime Stopper Sprite. It's much more sure. There's another Fairy Snoop as an option. I think I'll just take the Breakout. We're basically relying on the meticulous archive for us to cast on white if we need to, but we probably won't. Hey, we did get an unauthorized exit, so that's a good follow up. We're definitely going to be making adjustments to our. So like maybe the mapping the maze doesn't quite cut it. We have to cut 3 cards. Like we have 7 instants, so but let's see how many of our like buying back Murder, buying back Slice from the Shadows. Those are quite good. I guess we can cut the Burden of Proof because there are enough random detectives that it's not going to be great for us. Yeah, we're definitely adding Meticulous Archive. We can get away without running any planes, so I guess we can go. It's basically an 8-9 with Archive. If I can cut 2 more blue cards, and we do have quite a lot of creatures, so Sprite is kind of fine. I guess we cut 1 Bubble Smuggler. Cut 1 Sanguine Savior just to make it easier here. I guess we can go 10-7 here. 9 cards. Okay, let's do a sanity check here. How many of our blue cards actually need blue? Like this one we can. Okay, let's do a check on how many cards actually need blue right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess 10-7 is okay because the rest we can drop face down first. Oh, I should probably. Well, probably one thing I could do is I could cut 1 Basilica Stalker, replace it. What was the card I cut? Sanguine Savior. Yeah, we could cut for that instead. So this is how we're gonna run it. Now, how well we do or not, it remains to be seen. We do have some kind of relevant rares. I don't know how impactful they are. Also, we have no way of sacrificing the Thought Detective that steals from our opponent's deck. So opponent gets to go first. I'll probably keep this. We have the option to ward, or murder, or slice. Opponent has a let's see what 2-drop our opponent has though. Pyrotechnic Performer. Oh, they're just dropping it straight. Okay, that's fine. We do have blue, so now the nice thing we know is that there is no 0 cost turn up this guy, so opponent's not gonna get this one right away. Let's say they drop a ward creature, we can just bounce the Pyrotechnic Performer instead. Opponent could like. Yeah, we're just gonna bounce it right away. Then next turn, if they decide to play it face down, we just slice it from the shadows. Opponent plays something else, then we can kind of decide from there. Does our opponent have a way to... Well, giving it ward doesn't make any sense. Giving it protection does, but I don't think... Orb Servitor at 4... I think I'm fine though. Because Barb Servitor is mostly for drawing cards, and if our opponent decides to block, it's actually kind of bad for them. Okay. Okay, yeah, figured he'd replay that. Though we did spend 2 cards to deal with that one, so not so great. Let's hope our opponent drops a decent 4-drop so we can just murder it. Oh, they're not playing anything? Yeah, we'll play Cackling Observer first. Oh, opponent doesn't have anything. Well, they might have a removal spell, but they really don't want to remove it right away. Because if they remove it, there is no card exiled yet. They actually get nothing back. And I would still exile a card. Oh, they're going to remove it right away. So they don't get to seek. Yeah, this have to remember, this is the old wording. So let's see, opponent is at 4 going to 5. I guess we take their Agency Coroner. Yeah, that is a misplay. So opponent can... Yeah, they could just buy back the Performer. He has 1 card, that's fine. So we did miss on our drop. Yeah, we'll just play the Barb Servitor. We kind of need to start drawing cards. If knowing our opponent kept a kind of heavy mana value hand is quite interesting. Face down card, sure. We could murder that, but I probably want to murder this other... Oh no, it wasn't that, it's something else. So... we can actually swing with this. Let's see if our opponent probably does not block, it's just 1 damage. Now this is target, so that is something to consider. This does have indestructible, so if our opponent wants to block this, they're taking 5 that. They really don't want me to draw a card? Sure. No, they're gonna let me draw a card. There's no way they're taking 5 damage for that. Yeah, we're just gonna go hard on our opponent here. If our opponent... It's a shame we do have a few ways to generate clues, I think, but not that many. Opponent goes chases on. Oh, they're just going for the first strike and sacrifice a clue, okay. Take note, this does target, so... I think I'll take the 5, that's fine. We did hit our 6. Okay, the race is on now. Crime Stopper spread is pretty good here. We can just... We definitely want to keep our instance if possible. Probably want to... Okay. No way to sack the clue yet. If I were to block... opponent, yeah, that was a good one for us to give up. So drop this. Mapping the maze, yeah, we definitely want to keep that. We could buy some time with this, or we could just undersit the Eliminator right away. Sacrifice. Exile. Yeah, Barb Servitor doing a lot of work. So now we can use Mapping the Maze to say buy back either Murder or Slice and get to draw a card. Yeah, the reason. So this is the reason I took this one. We have enough kill spells that we want to buy it back. When it goes for an Ally Assailant, ETB's tapped. I am not really curious what our opponent's other card is. If they just crack it, that means they might have a shock, but I'm trying not to invest in it. Hey, Kyle Braxton, thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? How is it going? Okay, I definitely want to swing with all three. This is instant speed, so let's see. Hello, Pasmanis. Yeah, they probably just block that. They might just not block at all. That makes sense. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Next turn, we're just gonna map one. We'll map one of our removal spells and try to punch our way through. So yeah, between mapping and what Offender at Large, going probably say buffing one of these creatures and swinging, or not. They're just gonna hold. Okay. It doesn't give haste, which makes that super weird. I think our opponent misread. Definitely mapping the maze for Murder. Get to draw a card. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, so that was a pretty easy first game there. Not. Hey, happy streaming. Sag, I don't know how to. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, refresh comments. Hey, Sapotex, happy streaming to you too. Okay, actually, sorry I did not see your message earlier. Yeah, Sag, I don't know how to play this game. If there's one interesting thing about, at least if there's one good thing about Arena, the way they implement is that it's easy to get through the tutorial. At least it teaches you most of the early stuff. Though I'll be honest, this set is the current set I'm playing has a bit more nuance, but it's not too hard. Maybe, yeah. I think I should one of these days. I should probably do a series where I try to introduce new people to the game. First, it needs other people to stream with, but we'll see if that happens. Anyway, that was a pretty decent first win. Also, definitely, if you're introducing new players, you do not want to start them on the set with the digital only cards. So maybe not. Probably next week's draft will be a bit more regular. I'll probably try to alert if there's a draft of a past set that is somewhat easier, so easier to get into. Yeah, I should keep that in mind. I will say that my competency in Magic the Gathering is definitely a lot more than my competency in Pokemon Unite, which kind of makes me sad a bit too, but not that much. Does our opponent have a 1-drop? Now this one does make me sad. Because this one has basically look through the top. Okay, so Surveil 2, look at the top 2 because of the number cards of your library. You can put any number of them in your graveyard, then the rest on the back on the top of your library in any order. Now, depending on the set that it's put in, it can be either this. It's generally seen as an advantage, but in a set like this, where there are mechanics that interact with cards in your graveyard, It's an even bigger advantage if you know what you're doing. So, opponent actually ditching Yaris. I'm gonna see if our opponent has a 2-drop to drop. We might just take the 1 damage first. Opponent definitely into surveilling. I guess if there's one card I bounce, it would be this one, because our opponent spent most of their mana on this. Opponent, green, white, okay. Now, I do have the option of just not bouncing it, but I definitely want to do it. Also, yeah, because it does give me a glimpse of what my next card is. Now, do I actually want it? Not really. I would have wanted it a lot earlier. This one's a bit on the too late. Yeah, I'll play the Ali Assailant first because this one is the more expensive one. Next turn, I'll probably play the Basilica Stalker face down. Opponent might be missing mana, which is why they were willing to ditch. This one is a Surveil too, so I think our opponent did hit 1 mana earlier. Now, whenever I say mana, it's basically land cards because that's what helps you cast spells. Ooh, our opponent actually is playing like 3 color, but they're missing their 3rd color, which is kind of brutal. Now we don't need that land anymore. I am willing to offer the trade. Basically, trade this for their Sanitation Automaton. Okay, opponent's not trading. We'll play Basilica Stalker instead. Our opponent did miss 2 land drops in a row, so that is, so you can see why they were willing to ditch all these relatively powerful cards. Actually makes me question what cards did they keep in the first place that they were willing to serve. Oh, did they miss another land drop? Opponent probably should swing with this one now. They have to have, okay, they don't. We'll actually play this one. See if our opponent has some sort of combat trick. No, they're not, they're just gonna take. It allows us to actually play this one face down. And yeah, we're probably gonna just play it like that and just hold up the deduce to draw into more cards. Yeah, our opponent isn't. Okay, their opponent finally hit a land. I would have expected them to slam it right away if they did. No, Sumala Sentry, face down permanently controls turn face up. No, this one. No, this one turns into a 3/3. This one turns into a 3/4. I am willing to take the 2 damage. This one turns into a 2/1, so probably don't. I hold the deuce. Okay, another Sanguine Savior is good. We can do the Crime Stopper Sprite to lock this one down. Yeah. Okay, opponent finally hit their 3rd mana. Now let's see what good stuff they have. Now yeah, as a reminder, we definitely want to keep our spells in our graveyard because we do have ways of getting our spells back. Well, technically just one way. They could have a bite down on crime that will allow this to eat this one. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they might not have much of a choice. Yeah, just bite down on crime. That's fine. They probably will swing because yeah, they've already kind of invested in it. No pass, no blocks. So we do have a spell but we don't necessarily want to get that one back. So yeah, we'll let that go through. Hmm. So our opponent could pump this one into a 3-2. I can see an argument for just playing this one straight. Just draw clue out later. Yeah, they did not have a shock, so basically they didn't have a one. Okay, they did hit their fourth mana now. They might end up wanting to do something else. We'll definitely crack this clue because we don't. Well, there is an argument for say getting back on authorized exit, but this only returns multicolored spells, so it's not really gonna do any good. So we're most likely going to just crack the clue. Opponent. They do have enough they do have enough cards in the yard to bite down on crime again. No, just going for an airtight alibi. Okay. So let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's fine. And we even got the murder to boot. There we go. That was enough damage to get through. I could have alternately just tried to murder this, but I figured if our opponent did not have the shock last time, they would not. The odds of them, well, they if they had the shock, they would have played it right away. That would have been my guess. So there you go. Nice second win. Not bad. Let's keep going. So for those tuning in, we are for those tuning in, we are playing Magic: The Gathering Arena. We are playing. We're doing a premier draft. This is basically a format where you have to draft cards one at a time to construct your deck. And we are drafting with Alchemy. So this is basically the version that includes digital only cards. You won't find them in paper. Okay, this one is. I guess we have double murder. The format can be fast, so we are running a risk if by keeping this. I'll keep it. We don't exactly have that many 2-drops, so I can't exactly just hold on to it. Neither did our opponent, so be careful what we drag. Opponent playing Teysa, and it is part of the storyline. That is kind of what happened to Teysa in the storyline, so don't at me. Opponent actually playing 3-color into an Aftermath Analyst. That one not quite. Ooh, they did hit a nice set. They did hit the nice lands though. Do they have another drop? Oh, they definitely will consider sacrificing this. So I could just go Barb Servitor because that's. But I also kind of want to see what's in their deck, in their hand right now. Hey, Kyle Braxton, thank you for liking my post. No, I think you did like it a while ago. Oh yeah, and remember, do not. This does not work the same as the other one. You do not want to remove in response. You don't actually get a card back. That said, we are gonna take the macabre. Yeah, we're gonna take the reconstruction. Yeah, you don't get a card back. So I guess they just did not want me to take the removal spell. So that's one way around it. So we have our own slice. I'm probably just gonna play this one. So we can start kind of drawing a few more cards. And also this is whenever one or more creature cards, so it doesn't work if our opponent gets lands back, though they will get some nice surveils. So we definitely want to hold on to this other murder. One is also going to start milling lands at this point. They don't really need anymore. So we get to hold up the deuce. Yeah, we will do that. Now there is the argument that we just play Fairy Snoop instead, and I will do that. So next turn opponent plays Aurelia the Law above. So definitely want to just cast regular murder here. I think our opponent is playing good stuff. Just basically playing with as many rares. Okay, got mapping, so we can buy back our murder to. Oh, we can actually buy back our murder and cast it again on the same turn. So why not with ward? So let's see. And I'm actually going to swing. Yeah, I'm going to swing with everyone. If our opponent wants to trade a face down card for it, I'm fine. And I think our opponent chose. Yeah, they chose the best one for us. They had a Moroi. Okay. So actually, yeah, pretty much you want to go for consistency here as much as possible. Now I do wish. Now maybe there's an art Basilica. Yeah, we can murder that. Yeah, we don't need another island at this point. There. So we probably would have it. I think because our opponent would just generate a blocker. Opponent can't actually tap for this. Turns out we were the ones going face here, not our opponent. Right? So that's pretty good for us. Yeah, that's a pretty good run. Treat. Okay, so third win, pretty good. No losses yet, but let's hope we didn't jinx ourselves there. It did help that our first opponent was actually had a really good deck concept. Our second opponent playing a 3-color deck, but I think the colors of mana that they drew into were not correct. I probably would have mulled that one. Also, they got they did have some mana issues. Our third opponent, they played a massive 3-color deck. Again, I'm starting to see that a lot of people are making the mistake on how to deal with the Cackling Observer. It's not the same as the usual ones where if you remove it, it doesn't happen. Oh, we're definitely keeping this one. Turn 2. Analyst, turn 3 Murder. Turn 4 we can map the maze, get Murder back. We even have an Undercity Eliminator, like if we're taking too much life loss, we can actually just kill our own Toss String Analyst. Opponent has a Novice Inspector. We can also go turn 3 Exit Specialist, though bouncing this one is not the best thing. Also note that because we can play. Oh, the nice thing is that it's play, so we could like say play cards. If it's lands, we can just play them right away. One is actually just gonna skip. Okay, took their Auspicious Arrival. We will swing with this. I suspect our opponent's trying to hold the combat trick, so Murder is probably a good idea. Also, no rush to cast this one. We will be able to cast it since it's been exiled already. Yeah, we'll just cast Ward. One is probably just going to crack the clue. They've been looking at the clue for quite a while. Opponent does drop a face down card. Okay, we do hit the land. We'll just play it right away. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce this one just so that we get some information. It's a Dog Walker, definitely a good one to bounce. And let's see if our opponent wants to trade their Novice Inspector. They do. So, but now if our opponent replays the Dog Walker, we can just murder it straight up. That said, that could also be something. Oh, they did play a Haunch. Ooh, took 4. Not so great. Also, I don't know if, I think, yeah, we can still cast this for its disguise cost. So I definitely want to just murder this right now. Let's not give them the chance to. No, they could have fooled us. No, it was Dog Walker. They could have fooled us and just they played another creature. Cornered Crook. Ooh, what's this one? When it enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to any target. Oh yes, please. So, since we played Murder, guess what? He will. Oh, this is a bit awkward here. What we could do though is we can cast it for Ward. Like if our opponent goes to combat, we can just flip this over and tap it. Buys us a turn. Opponent probably still has cards they can cast. Yeah, we kind of missing the combo because we did not hit a nut. Ooh, Time Crasher. Okay, we can buy ourselves a bit more time by locking this down. So 2, 4, 6. We give up the Murder in the process. The alternate play is to attack first, Undercity Eliminator, get rid of this. Neither play is actually good. Yeah, that is the one weakness of this one. If you're not hitting your blue mana, you won't be able to chain it right away. Our life total's still kind of high, so we don't have to quite chump block yet. But that could change any moment. Meddling Youths. Yeah, we're taking 9. Recent Unscrupulous Agent we can cast. Yeah, we'll give up the murder. We will lock down the fate, so we can jump. What did our opponent give up? Person of interest. Okay, that was a good one for them to give up. So 3, 4, 5. I am gonna block because if they have a lightning helix, we just die. Bother. Ugh. Okay, we're not getting through. Like I could cast this one, but it will have to be for the kill. So what I more likely want to do is we don't have anything to map the mace again anymore. I guess probably just the deuce. So not so great. We have to. I guess we can crack the clue, see if we find anything else. Let's crack it down. Say if we hit a murder. Nope. Finally hit the second land. So I'm gonna cap. No, let's block first. On the job, yeah, we were dead either way. Yeah, so unfortunately we did hit mana issues. We were forced to use some cards out of turn. That's fine. White red, our opponent managed to land a pretty decent white red deck, and kudos to them. That was a pretty good run there for our opponent. Let's see if we. Is that an argument? I still like the land distribution. We have 10-7. We though in that one case it was a little bit awkward. We probably could have tried just cast it earlier, just get the card back for one turn, but I don't think we had the time to do so. Also some of the life loss was really really our own issue. We did hit one of their lands, but yeah, disguised creatures can be kind of painful to hit. Okay, definitely keeping this one. You got turn 2, turn 3. Yeah, liking what we see. Okay. This one's very delayed. Gave one of the cheaper cards. I suspect they might be having mana issues. Well, not anymore since they hit their land. So let's see what we hit. I could hit this one so they don't get it back at all. I probably want to just hit the Imperium Topterus. Whipcracker is also a good one to. Yeah, I think we hit the Topterus. Because my experience with that card has been not so great. Also, our opponent doesn't have the double mix yet. Yeah, because I played with the Topterus in the previous midweek Magic. This one is very good at generating advantage. And our opponent's stuck on mana, so yeah, we denied If I had seen them be able to cast the Whip Cracker, I would have just taken this one. Now let's take a look. What it's cast a spell with mana value equal to its chosen number. So the trick is, if I cast these face down, these have a mana value of 0. In fact, this may be the case where naming 0 is the core. No, you can't. It's 1 and 20, so you can't name 0. And our opponent is definitely stuck. Now I could just turn... No, this is the other one. Okay, we'll swing first. We'll see if our opponent has removal. They could also just cast that one. That's fine. In that case, we'll let it pass. Then we'll just flip Fairy Snoop face down. Opponent might, if they did not hit their land yet, they are going to crack this clue and hope to dig for it. No, they did hit their land. And they'll probably still crack this clue anyway because they are having issues. But that said, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't cast Memory. So this should be enough to get through. Yeah, opponent just got stuck for quite a while. I made this mistake in the previous draft, and it's now our opponent might be playing with so many colors that it justifies this, but in the end, this is really not. This is really a painful land to run. You would have to be running serious 5-color, and every multicolored card you drafted is a bomb. And realistically speaking, that's not going to happen. So there you go. 4 wins. Pretty nice. Let's see if we can keep going. Okay, going up against your Fibbletip. Yeah, definitely keeping this one. Turn 2 Agent, turn 3 Snoop, or Assailant. Probably the Snoop. That's the more relevant one for us. Yeah, correct time to play Unscrupulous Agent is when you can play it early and when your opponent is down to very few cards and you can play it late along with something else. Opponent has a rubber belt Maverick. I will charge at it. They did give up a V2 Ghazi Inspector. And they did not give up the other cards. That said, opponent might just have a cheap drop and exile this. Sample Collector is quite good. So we could just Unscrupulous exit Unscrupulous Agent. It's a shame we don't exactly have more ways to draw cards. Yeah, I'll go for it. Yes, I do want to have the 5 mana. Yeah, I do want to have the 5 mana, so I will keep that. Opponent actually giving up the Sample Collector, so that was... It's one of the better cards, but the fact that they're giving up means it's not their best card. Face down and sack it, sure. This is activate as a sorcery, so they're not activating it quite yet. Could mean they have something. So I will swing with this one. If they have a combat trick, I want to get it out of the way. Now there is one combat trick I can think of. It is worth the price of taking. No, it's just a Nervous Gardener. Okay, it's not. That's fine. Oh, they have blue mana too. Okay. Insidious Roots, so they will get this right away which is fine. Though the fact that this can tap for mana is actually quite brutal. So I definitely want to turn this face up. I want this. Yeah, we'll give up the Barb Servitor. When it does have quite a lot of mana though. Well, so do we, but the fact that we know our cards are kind of mid-range at best, and there's Lurking Spinecrawler. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. So take care of that multicolored threat and just go. Now they could still drop their multicolor card, but at least we don't have to worry about sacrifice creature. Target creature gains indestructible. Opponent will swing. We'll take 3. Oh, opponent holds back. So we could buy back. It's an Unauthorized Exit. That's a great card to buy back. I have to swing with everything. Opponent actually has an Izoni. Thankfully it's Menace, but but the Spider tokens have reach. So yeah, this Izoni is gonna be a problem. It enters the Okay, so make it look like so opponent probably wants to double block. They might actually let it go though. Yeah, they're gonna let it go. So I definitely want to start paring down the tokens, because if they're able to sacrifice 4 tokens, it's not good for us. Then yeah, definitely want to cast this because we don't have the second mana. We are taking a big hit here. Opponent could surveil. That would, if they surveil enough cards, they can generate more. This is just what, collect 4. Because our next plan, okay, they did surveil enough. They will make more tokens. And sacrifice 4 tokens. They can sacrifice the 4 in response, which is really not great for us. Yeah, Zoni's nuts. We probably will just have to eat this one. But we are taking 6. Yeah, we're taking too much damage here. Unfortunately, without the right removal, Izoni zones us out. Maybe there's an argument for taking Izoni right away. Probably should have done that first. Izoni first. we made a mistake there. We should have taken out the Zoni first, then buy back, start taking out the tokens, or start putting. But the menace tokens are quite a problem. Zoni is a real beater. Well, no, this is not correct. There are mistakes, but it's really up to you to learn from them. Right. Making mistakes might have consequences depending on the stakes that you're running, but you have to acknowledge that they do happen, and you have to then just make it work along those lines. Okay, definitely keeping this one. Though I'm starting to feel that Thought String Analyst is kind of hurting us more. Definitely keeping that. Red black, case of shattered pack. Yet another. Now, generally, this could just be for tutoring one color. Our opponent is not necessarily digging. The concern is that our opponent probably has a lot of expensive cards of a certain color, so that said, let's see. If our opponent doesn't, if our opponent has removal for this, it's fine. We just play Exit Specialist. Yeah, sure. It's removal bait. Opponent does have an escape tunnel. Opponent could be 5 color, but you have to remember also that this is 5 colors among permanents, so lands do not count. In fact, I think our opponent would have noticed that the ticker is at 0. Not, that was a good hit, even though it's not a multicolored creature. Though we are about to start getting flooded. Yeah, point is just so. We could bounce it. Our opponent just replace it. I would probably just tap it down. Then when our opponent goes to combat, we can actually just flip this up. And once it can't block, 3 or greater, so we can actually keep swinging past the Aurelia. Opponent plays a person of interest instead to... And then, is it Polarizer? So we definitely want to cast Basilica Stalker here as now our opponent might just have removal, which would make this an awkward play. Opponent's just gonna draw the card. Now if they have another shock, I would not be amused. I probably should minimize my damage too. Okay. So let's see. Bubble Smuggler, this is 6 to flip up. We're definitely going to have to deduce this one, but if our opponent has any more bombs that I have to be concerned about, this would be a real problem. And this is the other way. This is the way that this works. Basically, you just have enough bombs that it just works. Face down card. And disguise does make it not so painful that if you miss your colors, you can still cast it as face down. Yeah, we'll take. I could also block, but I don't want to be giving them a card. Opponent is flooding out on lands a bit though, so that's a nice plus. It's a 1/4. That's fine. They do get a card off it, but let's see. They could block this one, not take that much damage, or I could just let's see how they block though. Yeah, they block. This is 6 mana to flip up. So the alternate is I could just flip this up and hit our opponent hard instead. Also note that even if our opponent gets it, they will not get self benefit until the next turn. So there's not that much rush. If yeah, I probably would just take the 4. And let's hope our opponent does not have the removal to kill us. Shock. Oh, it's in your hand. And Lazav. Okay. So we can do under a city eliminator punch. I want to see how my opponent blocks. Now this is on dice, so we can. Yeah, we definitely want to sack this. Because this one is whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may have this exile target card from the. Okay, we're definitely denying the investigate here. I will most likely take out person of interest. Actually, let's just make it x equals 3. We're not holding up anything. In case there's a. So yeah, I would rather just take the 2 here and just figure out a way to block. But it's possible that we could just be dead. Gravestone Strider. Okay, not. Now the problem is that this one is any target. If they go for electrolyze, it's any target. We're just dead. We have no way of gaining life at this point. Okay, we'll let them pay the ward. We're just dead. We don't. Yeah, dramatic accusation gets us there. Well, that was a we started making mistakes along the way. Hmm, I guess no, the Lazav would have been the bigger threat. I could I did see the likelihood that we should have probably exiled the ionizer than just find another way to deal with Lasav, but didn't quite line up. Still, 4 wins is not so bad. We'll take that and call it a day right there. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Many thanks to Kyle Braxton. Many thanks to Sapotech for tuning in. Next week, I actually have to check the schedule if I might just do regular murders at Karlov Manor. I am liking the format for all that it's worth. Oh, got ourselves a Vecto. Actually, didn't see what we got with the didn't notice the previous rare. Yeah, but that is all there is to it. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.